On Tuesday, the General Secretary of the party at a press conference here in Accra says the party has opened nominations for persons who want to contest in the party's primaries to lead the party go into the 2028 general election. Today on The Situation, we will discuss the timelines and the processes leading up to the election of a flag bearer for the NPP going into the election of 2028. Also, the NPP and the NDC are preparing for the Akwatia by-election. The Electoral Commission this week announced that on the 2nd of September this year, the Commission will hold a by-election in the Akwatia constituency to find a replacement for the late Ernest Kumi. The NPP and the NDC are preparing for the process. Already, the NPP has chosen its candidates for that by-election. The NDC is also in the process of electing who will be the party's parliamentary candidates in that by-election in the Akwatia constituency. Already, 3 individuals have showed up their heads in leading the party in that constituency. Today, on The Situation, we'll discuss the NPP as far as the election of a new flag bearer and the Akwatia by-elections as announced by the Electoral Commission. My name is Sami Wiafi, and this is The Situation Room.
This is a people's game. They will be bubbling about this one for weeks and months to come.
Let's go! Lights, camera, action. Put your mind to it, live the life that you
It's on SuperSport all season long. Pay your subscription today. Dial *759#. Available on DSTV and GoTV.
Drowning in deadlines, data running wild? Let's fix this together. Join the evolution. Join the sharpest minds in HR at the HR Connect Conference 2025 on August 8th at the Marvin Peak Hotel, Accra, under the theme Empowering HR Excellence, Leveraging Data, Resilience, and Wellness for a Thriving Workplace. It's not just another conference, it's strategy, tech, wellness, and a few smart laughs too. Panels, keynotes, real talk, and real solutions. Let's lead, connect, and transform the way we work. For further inquiries and bookings, please call on 0541 222 365 to secure your seat. HR Connect Conference 2025. Lead, connect, transform.
You're welcome back. You're still watching The Situation Room, coming to you live from our studio here in Accra. As I mentioned earlier, Situation Room today, we are discussing 2 important topics. The NPP says there is open nominations for persons or individuals seeking to lead the party going to the 2028 general election. The party has opened nominations for individuals who want to lead the party to pick up nomination forms, and then they go through the process that will lead up to the election on the 31st of January 2026. And also, we'll discuss the Akwatia by-election. The Electoral Commission says on the 2nd of September this year, it will elect a new member of parliament for the constituency. It comes on the back of the demise of the member of parliament for the area, Ernest Kumi. Today on The Situation Room, I always do this with my friend and brother, Fred Tete Jabano, and then another brother of mine, Umaru Sanda Amadu. Guys, you're welcome.
Thank you, Sami.
Than's Sami. But why do you say he's your friend and brother and me, I'm not? You see, this thing you've been doing...
You're also my friend and brother.
Okay, it's not like that.
Fred, what has been happening this week?
Sami, this week, it's been a very interesting week, sad, interesting week.
Yeah.
Especially with the demise of Charles Fosu.
Our own Lumba.
People will be asking, why Daddy Lumba on a political show? But I mean, we cannot discuss a political, maybe on a political show have serious discussions without mentioning Lumba and his influence, not just on our music, but even on our politics, in our politics. People would recall that the greatest campaign song ever in this country.
Ah, yeah.
No,
No, that one. No, that one.
But that's the greatest one.
Arguably, done in 2008.
Yeah.
Was a song which was written and sung by Daddy Lumba, which is Nana Ye Winner. You remember that song? Na 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 ye winner.
Yeah, we know.
Boom, pudum, pudum, boom, pudum,
And then in
pudum.
2012, there was a remix of it.
Yes.
In 2016, and then 2020, there was another
Yes,
remix
but
of
actually, in fact, Lumba, outside everything, could also say defined our election in 2008. He played a very influential role in our election in 2008. Outside this song, he did other songs in 2008, which were all related to the elections.
That's the one I was singing.
Yes, actually. So
Ah, yeah.
his first release on that, a political song in that year was
Nana
the Nana Ye Winner.
Sorry.
Then, I think at the second round, after we went for the first election and the election had to go into a second round, that was between Nanado and Professor Mills. Then he released the Aye Wun Hun Hun Hun, meaning that there was some trouble coming. Then after the election, finally after 10, he came up with Nana Ewo. Yeah, we are finished Nana. So you see, I mean, it's interesting. Lumba has played his part, even in our politics. People talk about his gospel music, his love music, and all others, but he's also played a very significant role when it comes to our politics through music, and we need to remember him for that.
Did I have any encounter with him?
No, never met Daddy Lumba before, but grew up on Daddy Lumba. And I was telling Fred yesterday, he was laughing. My sister named her second son Abu Lumba after Daddy Lumba. The boy's name is Abu, and she decided to add Lumba to the name, and that's how big Daddy Lumba was. I had his cassettes, and I used to play them back to back. And when we go to Spinny those times, I mean, we used Abinwaha to cross over into the new millennium, and it was a big deal. And it still is. Up to now, Abinwaha is one song you listen to and you're like, wow, I mean, what a classic. And like Fred said, he has played his role in the political space, and he didn't necessarily get tainted because of that.
Yeah.
A lot of the times when people do songs for political parties, so Nasi has done something, people would say he's NDC. The gentleman who also did some more NDC song, I think he was in a wheelchair at a point.
There's been Lucky Lube.
No, the one in the wheelchair. Joelaka. So typically people would say he's NDC. But Daddy Lumba, despite what he did, and for him to have neutralized the Lumba song of Nana Ye Winner with Aye Hun Hun Hun, it tells you that he's versatile and he had dexterity and he was able to play through. And I think at a point he was even mounting the NPP campaign platforms and singing for Akufo-Addo and all of those things. But whether you like him or not, and I think there are more likes than dislikes for Daddy Lumba. I remember the childhood rivalry that I heard about between he and Nana Champong. I remember when Ofori Aponta came out of him, and all of those things. I mean, it was a big deal. I listened to someone who knows him on one of the radio stations talking about his mice, and the person said Daddy Lumba said when he does a song and it's controversial, he doesn't go on radio to do interviews to explain. He leaves the controversy like that, and that is up to now. We don't even know what Abinwaha means. But still, I mean, and it's not a fruit. So what exactly is this? Maybe you know.
I heard one of his daddy say it's banana. I heard one of his
Peach, you know peach.
But you know, in 2016 also, he released Gentobia. You know, the time President Mahama at the time, his first term, there was so much criticism about the Dumsor, so much questions about how he was governing the country. Went to visit Otunfo.
There was this viral video, they dancing to that song.
I think it became a big issue.
Commander One was in there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It became a big issue. People said Mahama did not care and all other things. So yes, I mean, Daddy Lumba, Abu Lumba.
Abu Lumba's godfather. Yeah.
Daddy Lumba rest in perfect peace. Till we meet again. Friend, the Electoral Commission this week announced that by-election in Akwatia is going to take place on the 2nd of September.
Yeah.
Already the NPP has chosen who their candidates will be. The NDC is in the process. Already we're told that 3 individuals have filed nomination to contest. The party, I think, will do vetting on Monday and then choose whoever they want to choose.
The vetting was done today. And
it was done today, okay.
The vetting was done today. All 3 have passed through,
Okay.
and the election will take place on Monday. So they would elect a candidate on Monday. And it is interesting when you look at the NDC and the people contesting this particular election. So the three people who picked up this forms or nomination forms to contest the elections include the candidate who contested in 2024. He's also the former MP of that particular area, Henry Boakye-Yadom.
Okay.
He picked the forms to contest. Don't forget that Henry Boakye-Yadom is a person who's been in court challenging the legitimacy of the past MP and Eskumi. He wants to go again. And there's a very interesting thing. The constituency secretary of that particular constituency for NDC Akwatia, his name is Bernard Bedi Akubeidu, is also contesting. But do you know who Bernard Bedi Akubeidu is? No. Bernard Bedi Akubeidu is the lawyer for Henry Boakye-Yadom in the case.
Oh, how?
The same guy defending him in court.
Exactly. In the case where he's challenging the legitimacy of an Eskumi. Now, his own lawyer wants to contest him to represent the people of Akwatia in Parliament.
True. Oh, that's a big one. That's a big one. But okay. And
Then there's a third one, Erasmus Konyali, aka Aksanka.
Asanka.
Yes, quite popular within the constituency and within the NDC in the constituency. It's called Asanka. He is also contesting. So we have three people, the former MP and the former parliamentary candidate, the secretary of the constituency, who is the lawyer of the former parliamentary candidate, and a very popular NDC member in the constituency, Erasmus Konyali, Asanka.
Oh, so these three people are filed nominations.
They filed nominations. They went through vetting today. They've all been passed. So what they will do is now do the balloting, and then the election will take place on the 31st. I mean, on Monday.
So they will go to the primaries to get the election, whoever will be elected there?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, there will be primaries.
But then the dynamics of that seat, is it a stronghold for any of the two political parties?
So Akwatia is a constituency which has largely been won by the NPP.
Okay.
And the NPP has won that particular election. It was won once before 2020 by the NDC, which was Baba Jamal. After a long fight, Baba Jamal has been one who had contested the seat for a very long time and had failed to win. He managed to win the constituency once. That particular election, he won after so many issues. He became parliamentary candidate and became member of parliament for the constituency for just one term. After that one term, you had Amase coming to take over the constituency. Amase is from the NPP stock. She also did one term. There was an issue with her nomination during primaries in the 2020 elections, where people were unhappy about the fact that she lost the election. So there was a bit of division within the NPP ranks in 2020 ahead of the elections. The NPP went in and lost that particular election to Henry Boakye-Yadom. Henry Boakye-Yadom also stepped in, did one term. He actually contested an Eskumi, the MP who lost his life some few weeks ago, beat him in 2020. They came back for a rerun in 2024, and Eskumi beat Boakye-Yadom again. So I think when you look at the history of the constituency, the NDC has held that particular constituency from, if you start counting from 96, just twice.
Okay.
From 96, just twice.
And the NPP has won it all as well.
has been the party which has been more dominant in that particular constituency. But you know, the Akwatia constituency is always interesting. Looking at the people, the kind of things they engage in terms of employment and everything. It's a largely mining constituency. And
Denchembo.
Denchembo, that's true. It's a largely mining constituency. And a lot of the times, whatever is happening within the mining space would usually influence the elections. So in 2020, for example, this was the time of a lot of the issues of Galamsey, the internal fight. The NPP managed to win. in 2024, the NDC won in 2020. In 2024, they went against the norm or the popular saying that the Galamsey areas were voting against the NPP and managed to win that particular seat. But then you can't discount the effect of mining within that particular constituency. No,
it's basically a mining town, a mining constituency.
Yes, it comes as no surprise that the MPP's candidate now, Solomon Kwame Asumedu, is a mining person. He is a CEO of Chief Executives of Owo Mining. It's no surprise.
So the MPP candidate is a miner?
Yeah, he's a miner.
Yeah.
He's a miner.
In a short, I will speak to Evans Dimarco.
He's the treasurer.
Yeah.
The current treasurer of the party.
He's called
Owo Mining.
And
that's the name of the company.
Owo Mining.
But so that the MPP decided not to hold primaries, but they decided to just handpick these candidates. I've heard people raise issues with it, that it was undemocratic. They should have allowed the primary system to work and the rest. What's your general thinking about it?
You cannot say it's undemocratic. Political parties are masters of their own rules. I mean, someone drew my attention to that issue, and I said, in 2012, when President Mills died, the NDC didn't have enough time to go through all the process of choosing a flag bearer. So I was at the Institute of Local Governance when Honorable Haruna Idrisu nominated John Dramani Mahama for council, and council accepted him, and he became a flag bearer without necessarily going to Congress. Prior to that, the NDC had gone to Sunyani to choose John Mills over Nana Konadu Admiral Rawlings. That's NDC. Now, MPP could also have their own rules. So if they've decided that they want to do selection rather than election, parties have ways of doing their thing. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, we are all told, did not have a party card until Nana Akufo-Addo decided to. Yeah. And he was given a party card by Nana Ohininto. And so he didn't go through the rank and all of that. But he became, and now he's almost the face of the party. So parties have they calculate and decide that this is the best way to execute. My only worry for them is if this backfires, they'll be in big trouble. Because a lot of the times, independent candidates emerge when people are not happy with a contest. Here's a case, you are not even allowing for a contest at all. What is the guarantee and the assurance that they have reached every MPP member in the constituency and they've all said, we are supporting this particular gentleman into the election? Because if that does not happen, and they do not have the buy-in of all MPP members, they end up having a competitor who is an independent candidate emerging from their fold. And if that happens, it's going to force them, possibly split the elections or the votes, and then the NDC candidate may win. So it's one thing I need them to think about. I spoke to Mustafa Gbandi on Eyewitness News, and he said it is wrong for the NPP to just go into a room and decide that this is the person they are settling on. I think they should have just allowed, because NDC has opened this thing up. It's just 2 days. The process was opened yesterday or 2 days ago. 2 people have picked the forms. Today they are over. They've done their vetting. Monday they will do the election, and then you choose somebody. This party selection or endorsement, we know, has not worked well for a lot of parties in the past. You and I know parliamentary candidates that had issues that the MPP decided to ignore and decided to force for them to go unopposed. And when they went unopposed and went into the elections, they lost the election. So when the party base says someone is unpopular, that person is truly unpopular. And I don't know what popularity test they have put this gentleman through. And when I interviewed Evans Dimarco, I was saying, okay, why don't you present the guy who represented you perhaps second after NS? After NS, What about the Amase factor? Have you considered that? Is she truly going to support this new person? These are things that you could think about. There's also this view, and it's almost becoming a tradition now where when a person dies, they put their spouse and the spouse wins. It has happened. We saw photos of that. The party quickly came through to say it is not true. It has happened in my own constituency, Shai Osudoku, where the current regional minister and my MP, her husband died a few months to the elections of 2016. And she went into that election as a widow and defeated David Asumi, who was incumbent MP, and also Dr. Kwesa White in the primaries, and went on to win that seat, and this will be her third term. We have seen that in Ayawaso West Wogon by-election, where Lydia Sera Malasan came through and defeated the NDC candidate in the by-election to replace her husband. Mfansiman,
is also an example.
We saw that one as well. So maybe it has been successful in a lot of places. I don't know why the party shot this one down as soon as it emerged, because Jeff Konedu quickly issued a statement and said that, no, it is not true. We are not supporting the woman into this election. They may have done their calculations, all right? So that's fair enough. But I think that it wouldn't hurt. They should have just allowed the election to have happened. They should have allowed the contest to be open for everybody to run, rather than what we have seen. Because now it is, the NDC has something against them, and that's not very proper, I think.
In a short, I will speak to Evans Nimako. I'm sure he's ready to speak to us on what went into the decision to just handpick this particular individual and what the criticism has been in respect of this matter. But Fred, before we speak to Evans on this matter, Sunday has said that political parties are masters of their own game. They can do whatever they want. But then, if you bring someone who is not popular, he may be popular within the party, but may not be popular outside the party. And in an election, you don't need only your party members to vote. You need the generality of all the people in the constituency, to vote.
Yes, I agree with Sander when he says that political parties are masters of their own rules. But then, for me, what I think the NPP has done is that they looked at the election post-2020 and the kind of divisions which took place within the party in the constituency in that particular election. So you realize we mentioned the name of Amase and other people within the constituency in 2020, where they went into an election divided, where people thought that a particular candidate had to go and contest, or a particular candidate was MP at the time. Someone supported another person against that candidate. They went into primaries, the candidate lost. They went into an election. People decided that we are not going to support this candidate because you are not being fair to our candidate. So it ends up bringing division within the party. Before you go into an election generally, the first thing you need to ensure is that your backside, your home, is together. You are united. There are no divisions within your home. It's only that way you can go out there to go and represent and pull other people to join your party. And for me, I think the NPP has done a good job with what they have, with their decision to ensure that they went with one candidate, spoke to all the other aspirants who were interested in contesting this particular election, come to an agreement, come to a consensus and say, look, at this point in time, look at the duration we have to campaign. We do not have the time to be mending divisions after a campaign which would cause the people to be unhappy. Let's all sit together around the table, have a conversation, agree on one thing, and now present a compromise candidate. And I think that in presenting the compromise candidate, yes, it's not everybody who will be happy, but then majority of your people will feel happy about the fact that they are going with this. Because if I am a candidate and I agree for you to contest, I can tell Umaru, who is my supporter, that look, this is for the good of the party. So let's wait. The next election, that one is an open thing. We can fully contest. So for me, I think that this for me, I think that this, looking at the time left and looking at the fact that the NPP is in opposition, right? Going against a government with resources, a government which has gone to Akwatia, to Ablekuma North, to win a seat he hasn't won in a long time.
Ever.
Actually. Outside 92, he's never won that particular seat. That government goes into an election. It's a rerun, but more like a by-election anyway. You go there, the government is able to win that particular election. Now you're going to Akwatia, where in 2020, just before 2024, you had lost the election. You get it? You need to go with a united front. And for me, so far, I haven't heard anybody complain about the fact that the party decided to go with a compromise candidate. Usually, as soon as there's that announcement within the constituency,
maybe they will complain, but they've just asked them to keep quiet.
No, the artwork will come out.
they just ask them. But then let's ask Evans Nimako if some complaints have come in and what the party is seeking to do. Evans, thank you very much for your time. My colleagues and I here believe that the practice of bringing this particular gentleman by name Solomon, the CEO of Owo Mining, is a bit undemocratic. That's how I feel, a bit undemocratic. But then Umaru feels that political parties are masters of their own game and they can do whatever they want. Was it a popular decision to handpick this individual to represent the party?
I mean, I don't agree with the choice, by the way, just for the record. Continue.
To handpick Solomon to represent the party in Akwatia?
Well, Sammy, thank you very much for having me, and good afternoon to your viewers. I think this conversation has been done between Omaru and myself. If you take the party's constitution, as he has said, the party reserved the right to conduct its internal elections in a manner that it deemed fit. If you look at the party's constitution, Article 12, which talks about the selection of parliamentary candidates. In situation where we have to conduct this exercise, it could either be a competitive exercise, as in more than one person being in the contest, or in a situation where at the close of nomination, you have only one candidate, which we normally call unopposed candidate. And so under this circumstance, it's not normal times. The party is bereaved, the family is mourning, and you don't have to do things that will escalate the emotions of the immediate family members and the good people of Akwatia. The party at the National Executive Committee level and National Council level put together a committee to engage with stakeholders in Akwatia constituency for the party to have a candidate who will be sponsored for this by-election. Even then, the EC had not communicated to the public the date for the by-election, but some engagement went on. It is the reason why you heard the Eastern Regional Chairman, Mr. Jeff Kunedu, who was made the chairman, coming out that the committee, upon engaging with all stakeholders, all key stakeholders, i.e., polling station executives, electoral area coordinators, constituency executives, opinion leaders of the party and council of elders, as well as those who had put their names out there to be part of this contest. After that engagement, a certain level of agreement and consensus was reached. It is the reason why, at the end of the day, you are not seeing New Patriotic Party opening nomination as usual to invite nomination from prospective candidates for these primaries to have been conducted. But let me inform you that yesterday, the party had a very successful constituency delegate conference where all delegates who are mandated close with authority under our constitution to be part of the exercise. And this gentleman was acclaimed by the constituency. And the constituency was so energized by leading members of the party. And you see, we are blessed. The National Council of the party put together Mr. Peter McMenu, Papu Usankuma, former High Commissioner to UK, former Majority Leader, Honorable Seche Mensah, to also engage with the good people of Akwatia. And so this is a new patriotic party you are seeing. And I can assure you that by the time the EC is done with the conduct of this by-election, the New Patriotic Party will retain the seat. This is a seat that we won in 2024. By a certain arrangement, NDC put up needless contest, and we all saw that this constituency was being contested up to the Supreme Court. But thankfully, ruling came, and unfortunately, our member of parliament has to join the ancestors. We wish him safe journey, but we can assure you that we will make him happy wherever he is by retaining the seat.
You said that Jeff Kunedu spoke to stakeholders, which you mentioned party executive. What about the residents of Akwatia? Did the committee led by Jeff Kunedu also speak to the residents and electorates in Akwatia proper, aside the stakeholders that you mentioned?
I think that committee did the needful. When you've gone into a constituency where naturally it's your constituency, if you look at the history of the constituency, it's a New Patriotic Party's constituency. But when you've gone in as a committee, you need to identify the critical stakeholder, and it's exactly what the committee did. And I'm saying that beyond what Jeff Kunedu's committee did, the party put together eminent members to also continue to engage. That's how come yesterday, after a successful constituency delegate conference, you see the constituency well energized to go ahead and present the candidate in the person of Solomon Kwame Sumedu for him to win the seat and represent the good people of Akwatia in Parliament.
All right, thank you very much. But don't go. We'll still have another issue to discuss with you. It has to do with the opening of nominations for those seeking to lead the NPP into the 2028 general election. So don't go. Just stay with us. We'll come to you shortly. Fred, okay. Evans is clear. It was a popular decision. The decision to go with Solomon, and it was well acclaimed by all. So no qualms with it.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, for me, I think that is a step in the right direction. You prevent a lot of divisions within the party. Once you've spoken to the people and everybody agrees and you present a united front, at least you know that in your backyard, you are fine. You can now go out there and go and fight for votes to get you and your candidate to win the election. But in the circumstances where there are differences and there are people who do not disagree, and you go through elections, and you know the cost of elections and what may arise after these elections, and you are now going to mend these broken wounds, and all those things, you need to deal with them. And for me, I think that the NPP have made a good decision in deciding to go with one candidate without going to an election. The NDC, on the other hand, faces a much more tougher task. You are going to an election where, in a constituency where you usually would not win in that particular constituency. Then you are also going into into this election, a by-election, with three different candidates. Your former candidate, your candidate's lawyer, and the third person. It's a bit more complicated.
For the NDC.
It's a bit more complicated. It doesn't mean that the NDC will not come out united, but I'm just saying that it's a bit more complicated for the NDC than the NPP in this particular situation.
You're still watching The Situation. I'm coming to you live from our studio here in Accra. My name is Sami Wiafe. His name is Fred Tete Jabano, and Umaru Sanda Amadu also here with us. We'll go for a quick break. When we come back, we'll discuss the NPP. The party has opened the floodgates for individuals who want to lead the party into the 2028 general elections.
Entries have been received and the marking has begun. Who makes it to the next round of the Literacy Challenge 2025? Randomly selected entries will be read on 97.3 City FM on Brunch in the City and the Traffic Avenue, and on Breakfast Daily on Channel 1 TV. Stay tuned to 97.3 City FM and Channel 1 TV to find out who makes it to level 2 of the Literacy Challenge on Monday, 4th August 2025. Level 2 Aptitude Test. The top 50 contestants from across Ghana to make it to the next round shall take part in a written aptitude test on Saturday, 9th August 2025 at 12 noon at the British Council, Accra. Grand Finale. The top 10 contestants chosen from Level 2 shall compete for the grand prize of 10,000 Ghana cedis in a classic quiz competition on Friday, 15th August 2025. The Literacy Challenge 2025 is powered by City FM, supported by Channel 1 TV, and sponsored by Belmu and GB Assessment.
You're welcome back. You're still watching The Situation Room, coming to you live from our studio here in Accra. On Situation Room, we talk politics. You're aware the New Patriotic Party says on Saturday, 31st of January 2026, it will elect a new flag bearer for the party going into the 2028 general election. On Tuesday, the General Secretary of the party announced the opening of nominations for individuals who want to lead the party to pick up forms and then make some deposits at the party headquarters. Tete Jabana will take us through the processes leading up to the final day of the election of the flag bearer. And if they have any issues, what they are supposed to do, where they are supposed to go, and the lead up and the rest. Fred, take us through the process. I'll take comment from Sanda, everybody. Before that, take us through.
You are a fair and unbiased host.
Sanda,
you have to give the man 7 minutes.
I'll come to you.
Give me my corner, let me also deliver.
Let Fred just run us through the dates, the timelines. What the NPP is seeking to do at this time and this time.
But you're moving the thing away from Akwatia.
No, don't worry. Go ahead.
After Akwatia, the NPP are going into a very crucial election.
A very crucial one.
Very crucial.
A crucial one.
Akwatia is necessary because right now they are mini minority. If you remove Akwatia, if they lose Akwatia, that would be like mixed. Baby micro. They can choose not to go to Parliament.
Give us your timeline.
Yeah, so, like you mentioned earlier, the nominations have opened. They opened on the 29th of July 2025. That was on Tuesday. Yeah. They are going to close these nominations on Thursday, 28th August 2025. So it's a 1 month period for people who are interested to contest this particular election to go pick up forms. And, you know, when it comes to these elections, one of the things people always look out for is the fees, the amount of money people would have to pay to be able to contest the elections. So the NPP also went ahead to set up and announce the fees for these nominations. It's saying that nomination fee, which is refundable when you are going to pick up the form. So in picking up the form, the fee is 100,000 cedis.
If all papers.
So it's going to pick up the form. You pay 100,000 cedis, which is non-refundable. When you return for filing, you come with an amount of 500,000. So when you are come to return your form to file officially to contest this election, you are going to be paying 500,000 cedis. There's also a development fee which is yet to be determined by National Council. You know, when a party is in opposition, issues of having to raise resources is very important. A lot of the times you would wonder, a party is in government and in no time when they get to opposition, it's difficult to do some of the things they are doing. There, the party now would decide to find ways, innovative ways, to get more of their members to contribute in the running of the party. And one of the ways is the development fee, which the National Council of the party is yet to determine. So as we speak now, when you put the 100,000 together with the 500,000, anybody interested to run as president or to run as flag bearer will be paying 600,000 cedis.
That's a lot of money, you know.
Sammy, when George Bush gave us money in 2000, remember what Isikwe said?
The money is big.
The money is big. Hey, what is this?
It may go up if the development fee is added to it.
You see,
it may get to $1 million.
It's possible.
It's most likely.
Before this particular announcement, there were people who were actually even calling for the party to charge $1 million.
Yeah.
There are people within the party who were asking the party to charge $1 million. Their reasons being simple, that when you are elected as a flag bearer or the leader of a party, one of the things you'll be doing is to raise funds for a campaign.
You need to be resourceful.
So to be able to lead the party, you should show your resourcefulness.
But it also means that if you become president, you can recoup.
But
the big elephant in the room is that the NPP left office 7 months ago. If already they are broke, so that the reason they did 1 day conference at Legon Stadium and not 2 days is because they are broke. And now they are asking party flag bearer aspirants to sponsor their Legon thing. And now they're asking for so much money, moving from 300,000 to 500,000 or 600,000. It's because they are broke, then it's a problem. For a party that has been in power for 8 years, what happened between Jubilee House and Asylum Down? what happened between the party leadership and the government machinery? Is it the case that the government was oiling the party, but some people were sitting on the money? Or the party was busily sleeping because you were being went, I don't have to worry myself, only for reality to hit them now? I mean, I don't understand why, if this is 7 months and they are already broke and asking for so much, then I'm worried that they may not be able to do their Congress in January.
Or, Sanda, is it the case also that there were people in government who were paid well, there were people who were having contracts, who had so much money to give to the party, and now that the party is in opposition, they don't have that much money to fund the party?
But it makes it worse, Fred, because the party is a going concern. The party is supposed to be an independent entity from the government. In fact, the party is a vehicle that just sponsors a party official into government. It does not mean that the party should depend on the government all the time. This is a very serious political party. NPP is way older than the NDC. It started way before, just when Nkrumah was on the ship coming from the UK. And I'm saying that if all the mobilization the party can do, it cannot have enough to sustain it just 7 months, then I worry for the party in the next 2 years or more.
But Sanda, this is not. This is just not.
It cuts through all political
Yes, this is not just.
I'm not saying. But it doesn't make it right. I'm saying that it is wrong.
So we should now look at the issue of political party financing.
Yeah.
How political
parties.
parties
state funding of political parties
are financed. There are suggestions where they say the state should fund the political parties. There are people who say
no. State should not fund NDC and NPP.
There are people who
Justin Frimpong, you are supposed to go and look for money. No, so is that not general secretary? We have a treasurer, right? Treasurer is supposed to find money. Chairman, all these people, there should be dues for party members. In fact,
the only source of income for a political party is they're paying dues. But how many members pay dues?
I don't think they collect
How many people pay dues?
You know, and that's what makes
contributions anyway.
So I am saying that it is ugly to see that they are broke. And I will be happy if you ask Evans, because clearly they are broke. He may not admit it, but if 7 months into opposition and they are already broke, by 7 years there. And unless we all do Lala Sulaka small, we'll do, we'll go to the mosque.
The party,
we'll go to the mosque on Friday, hold a can and ask, and then go to convention and ask, No, I do not think that this is proper. Unless someone is sitting on their money. But if they truly are broke to the extent that they are going through the hustling they are going, and I've seen Kennedy Japan complain that the money is too much.
It was Kwabena Japan.
Rather,
Japan.
I do not think.
And apparently, it was even higher. According to Kwabena Japan, members of the council and NEC had to intervene to even reduce the figure.
Wow, okay.
It was even higher.
But Kwabena Japan too. Kwabena left office many years ago.
Fred, continue.
Okay. Let's move from the party financing.
Kwabena Japan is broke.
Let's move from the party financing. The party has said 600,000. If you cannot afford 600,000, you sit home.
Don't fund your nomination.
That's undemocratic.
Yeah. Don't file your nomination.
That's the kind of democracy we find ourselves in. Let's go to the key dates in this particular schedule for the NPP. They are looking at vetting from the September 15 to September 2025, and September 22nd, 2025. So that's when they'll be having the vetting. After vetting, and the vetting committee's recommendation is expected by the 29th of September 2025. Then, usually when they are vetting, people might be disqualified, people would have concerns, there are petitions. The petitions will be heard from the 30th September to the 2nd of October 2025. Then the NEC would have a council meeting on October 7th to look at the report of the vetting committee. After that, there's a balloting of places for these various candidates. That will take place on the 10th of October 2025. Then the notice of poll goes out on the 17th of October 2025. National Congress, January 31st, 2026. If there's a runoff, that will be on Valentine's Day, February 14th, 2026. So these are the key dates for the party.
So they've scrapped super delegates.
Yes. At the national conference, the party scrapped.
But the two of you don't think that one too has to do with money?
Oh no.
It has to do with money. The argument was money.
But they said to us that the super delegate congress was the best sieve they have introduced to prevent the 17th.
They felt that the party was wasting too much resources in that election.
But if that's a law of the party that do it, they should do it. Suddenly, all the things they told us for which reason they
party members feel that is a waste of time.
Actually, never thought it was a proper thing. I actually thought it was a waste of time, though. But I'm saying that if it's their law, they should keep it. If it's money matter that is making them remove it, they're challenging.
But if it's a law and you feel that this law is not helping, you look at it.
Because you're in opposition.
No, it's not just because you're in opposition. You just have to look back at the things which have happened in the past, and you look at it and you weigh it into the future and ask yourself, has it worked for the way we thought of it and the way we planned that it would go? Is it meeting that particular plan? Are we achieving the purpose for putting it there? If you are not achieving it, then you just have to scrap it.
So 2007, they had 17 and they decided to bring super delegates.
Because in 2007, they believed that caused a lot of division within the party. And to be able to reduce the numbers, we do that and reduce the numbers, then it makes it easier for people to go.
What if in 2025, 27 people will contest?
They'll all be on the ballot.
They'll all be on the ballot.
That would be nice.
They'll all be on the ballot.
Spend 2 weeks at the election grounds. Yes.
But this time round, it's not going to be an election ground. It's going to be a national election.
Yeah. Okay, so, just like they did for the election of Akufo-Addo.
Exactly.
So there'll be polling stations across.
It's going to take place.
And then
remember, they've also increased the polling station numbers too. Yeah.
But those ones will not vote too. The people
they will not.
And that's another issue.
Yeah.
Kwabena Japan is saying that what's the use of giving the people the opportunity to vote and say but
there's some will vote, the former appointees and the rest who've been added to it who vote on 31st.
It's a polling station.
But it's just the two additions who are not going to vote.
I want to go to
court. We'll go through that. Let's see the appeal procedure. So usually, the parties find difficulties with appeal. So there's a procedure the NPP has put together. So aspirants can appeal findings of the vetting committee. Appeal must be submitted in writing within 48 hours after the vetting committee comes out with their results. Appeals will go through the general secretary to the NEC, and NEC will make the final decision. These are committees which have been set up to look at this particular election. So you have the committee which would deal with the vetting committee. Actually, this is the election committee. The election committee has Joseph Osei-Wusu, chairman, Kwabena Abankwah-Yeboah, member William Yamwa, secretary Rita Talata, Asobaye, member Barbara Benissa, member Isaac Yabuama, member Ampofu Eduse, member Efua Jechewa, member Evans Nimako, who is also a member to this particular.
Fred, I have a question. Is Kwabena Abankwah-Yeboah, is it not the one?
The former treasurer.
Is he not trying to be chairman?
Yeah.
Yes.
So why have they put them on that place?
No, but this is a presidential election. This has nothing to do with.
But what if he has an interest?
In becoming president?
No, maybe he likes one of the candidates and he doesn't like another.
Okay. Let's move on to the presidential vetting committee. So the vetting committee is headed by Dr. Kwame Adokufo, who is the chairman. You have Mr. Stephen Abankwah-Setre, member. We have Honorable Osei-Bonsu Amwa, OB Amwa. He's also a member. Madam Rita Talata Asobaye, member. Frank Davids, member. Kwesi Amwakwata, member. Hakman Owusu-Ajiman, who is the chairman of the Council of Elders, who is also a member. Lord Oblite Komi, a member, former organizer of the party. Elizabeth Ohene, a senior member of the party, member. And Evans Nimako, secretary. So these are the people who would be managing the process for the election. When it comes to the Electoral College, I'm sure Evans will talk about the people who make up the Electoral College. So far, there are a number of people who have shown interest in contesting. We have Kennedy Japan, we have Dr. Baumia, we have Dr. Brian Echampon, we have Kwabena Japan, we have Adainimo, we have Patrick Boama, and we have Dr. Educhum. These people have shown interest so far. We are told other people will be showing interest as and when the days go by. But so far, these are the 7 people who have shown interest in contesting in the election.
All right, Fred, thank you. Let's speak to Evans Nimako again. He's still with us on Zoom. Evans, is the party broke for you to charge these aspirants this huge amount of money?
Well, Sammy, thank you very much for this conversation. But let me place on record, I take strong exception to comments that are being made on this big platform.
Like
the New Patriotic Party does not own your station. We do not own any entity. And it's not been published anywhere that the New Patriotic Party is running away from people they own. We are a political party. We have our internal mechanism of raising funds to run the party. In fact, it is the finance committee of the party that worked through the National Council to generate resources to run the party. And so if today, at the comfort of your studios, you are bashing the New Patriotic Party as being broke, having left office just in the past 7 months, it's not palatable.
Okay, but he
I
has not
wish
answered the question. So Evan,
it had been taken to another level.
Okay, I take that correction, but then my question has not been answered. Is the party broke?
I'll get to it. Two, the New Patriotic Party is not broke.
Okay,
that's all.
And let me tell you, we had our annual National Delegate Conference, and the conference considered motions that have been brought by party rank and file. We got to this stage because there had been a Fenyo marking committee that put together a certain motions for adoption. And then Okwe's committee also came in. Some proposals came. Party communicated to rank and file the party members, and some proposals also came. So we had conference. And conference of this nature, we don't spend 1 week. Delegates will arrive on Friday, Saturday, we get conference done, and then they depart accordingly on Sunday. So exactly what we did about 2 weeks ago. It is part of the party's routine. When we did the 2009 amendment, the then Peter McMenu committee, as the chairman and leader of the party, having gone through the 2008 elections, put together the Heyman committee. The Heyman committee consulted the party rank and file, and part of their recommendation, which was put into motion, that in future elections, we should find a mechanism to sieve the numbers. It also proposed the adoption of deputies to existing office holders. And so Heyman committee brought together some proposals. The same way Okwe committee brought some proposals. When all these proposals were put together, 56 motions were put together by Frank Davis committee, and conference adopted 54 of them. And so we are on course and on track with what our internal mechanisms are. We've not departed. So let me place more emphasis. The party is not broke. An issue has been raised. What has been the nexus between the Jubilee and Asylum Down? The New Patriotic Party has run since its inception. And the Electoral Commission will let you know that year in, year out, we filed our audited accounts. And so, I mean, under the Right to Information Act, you can make requests to EC and check the New Patriotic Party's accounts. We are not zero or red. And so, Sammy, let the world be put on notice that the New Patriotic Party is being run, and run knowing that this is where we find ourselves. Yes, the National Council, when it met, the body, when you look into the party's constitution, Article 13, is clothed with the authority to set a date and venue for conduct of annual delegate conference, which could either be Congress. And when it is Congress, it is when conference elects the presidential candidate. You are looking at a new delegate size that has been expanded to include all former members of parliament, all former parliamentary candidates, all officers of the party from constituency level, right from 1992. So you are talking of a bigger delegate size. You still have all polling station executives in all the 38,622 polling stations. You have electoral area coordinators. You have more council of elders participating, more patrons, regional level, constituency level, national level. And so this is where we are. External branch members and former executive of external branch of the party all participating. I'm happy that you are looking at just one side of the coin, which is how much it will cost a prospective candidate to procure the forms. as against how much it is going to cost the party to run the conference. And these are conferences that are done at the constituency level. You need to engage the Electoral Commission. You need to print electoral materials. You need to engage the media. You need to engage security. And all these things do not just come on just by word of mouth. You need to spend some amount of resources. It is the reason why the National Council indicated that, yes, you need 100,000 cedis to buy the forms. You need to file your nomination with 500,000. And then at a later time, National Council will determine a certain amount of development fee to be paid to the party. If you check our history, even at the parliamentary level, non-sitting members of parliament who are prospective candidates are made to pay some amount as development fee. And so this is not something that people should deduce from it that the New Patriotic Party is not in some financial footing and is making or selling the position to those who have the means.
Evans, before you go, sorry to cut it. This development fee, we've heard it several times. What is this supposed to do? What is the development fee?
Okay, so you know this is the political party, and I said earlier that there are means of raising funds to run the party.
So the development fee is one of the means of raising funds to run the party?
Yeah, and I said that the finance committee devised these arrangements to raise support to run the party. In fact, if I ask Omaru to, instead of buying that expensive jacket, to donate 50% of that to the party, he wouldn't do it. He wouldn't do it.
This is ad hominem attack. This is ad hominem attack. I attack the party, you're attacking my person. This is not proper. I want you to withdraw and apologize to me. Because this jacket is not that expensive, tantamount to Jaisa.
So Sammy, you see how quick and fast my friend is defending the cost of his jacket. I'm telling you, the New Patriotic Party is in the position to run as one of the parties effectively run, efficiently managed across the country. Okay. And we are telling you that by God's grace, all things being equal, come 2028, the good people of Ghana will give the mandate to the New Patriotic Party.
Evans, thank you. Thank you very much for your time. Evans Dimako is Director of Elections and Research for the New Patriotic Party speaking to us. He serves on the two committees the party has formed in respect of the election of a flag bearer on the 31st of January 2026. Gentlemen.
Sammy, do you know why they are making Evans serve on two committees?
No, he's Director of Elections and Research.
They took one of his positions away at conference. Evans, I like, but they took one of your positions at conference. So when they decided, only money, let's compensate it. So that's what they do.
So that's why he's serving on two committees.
Evans, are they like?
Well, the party is not broke. The party is not broke.
You.
So this is where we wrap up today's edition of Situation that came to you live from our studio here in Accra. My name is Sami Wiafeis, Umaru Sandamadu, and that's Fred Tete Ijabano.
Yes, Sami, before we go, Parliament is also debating. They're having the final debate on the mid-year budget presentation made by the Finance Minister. The debate is ongoing on the floor of Parliament. We'll send you to Parliament where we'll bring you live images and coverage of this particular debate.
The trust of 33 million citizens. The evidence is undeniable, and this is not merely a government in crisis. It is a government in collapse because it is not facing the truth. Mr. Speaker, the mid-year budget review before us reads like a confession of failure. As my colleagues before me have copiously pointed out, behind every projection lies a story of incompetence. Behind every statistics, we find reality of a nation bleeding from self-inflicted wounds. Mr. Speaker, while the Bank of Ghana announces fairly tale exchange rates, businesses desperate for foreign currency cannot access a single dollar from our banking system. They are forced into the shadows of black markets where reality bears no resemblance to government fiction. This artificial exchange rate manipulation has crippled legitimate importers, destroyed business confidence, and turned our economy into a house of cards.